What's up guys, Zaid here, and today I've got a pretty quick video for you. I'm going to be going over my buddy's Lyrilusc list for when the new support comes out. We just played some games, and I'm going to record a commentary over those games here pretty soon, next couple days. So if you're interested in that, like and subscribe, stick around for more, and let me know what you think of this list. To start off, we got 5 hand traps, being 3 Ash, 2 DD Crow. DD Crow is searchable in this deck, so that's pretty cool. 3 Jester Confit, which is just a level 1 extender. 2 Kinkabayo, which on normal summon brings back a guy. 3 Barrel Cannery. This card is one of the new ones coming out. If this card's in your hand, you could target a Lyrilusc in your grave. Special both cards, this and the card you targeted, and then you can't special for the rest of the turn except XYZs. Can't special from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except XYZs. But that's like almost all he plays in this list, so that's not really a restriction. And then 3 Celeste Wagtail, which if this card's specialed, you search a Lyrilusc spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And then if it's in the graveyard, you can target an XYZ you control and attach it as a material. Then we got 3 Cobalt Sparrow. If this card's specialed, add a level 1 winged beast from your deck to your hand. And then 3 Sapphire Swallow. If you control a winged beast, you could special this and a level 1 winged beast from your hand. If you're noticing a theme with these cards, it's that literally every fucking one is a level 1 extender. It's kind of crazy. If you control no monsters, special this card from your hand. If it's summoned from your hand, summon one from your hand or graveyard. And then 1 Slower Swallow. If 2 or more monsters on the field are the same level, you could special this card from your hand. This card's really cool too. And the thing I like about this one in particular, Slower Swallow, is that it's generic. So you could possibly see other decks play it. I don't know which decks would play it, but some decks could. And then for the spells, 3 Jack in the Hand. This card, you reveal 3 level 1s. Your opponent adds 1 to their hand. You add 1 to yours, and the other goes to the deck. This card seems a little risky. Like, if you play a mirror match, this might suck because you give them an extender. Or if you're playing against, like, this deck versus Drytron, for example, giving them the level 1, they could normal summon the level 1 and then use it to make the Drytron XYZ. I don't know how relevant that is. There's also I don't know what other decks it could benefit, but it also makes it so you can't really put up a hand trap. Like, if you put up DD Crow, I'm just going to take DD Crow, and I'm going to have an interruption against you. And then 3 Lyrilusc Bird Call. I think this card's insane, and that when we get this, it's going to make the bird up version of Tri Brigade probably pretty viable. It lets you add or Foolish Burial a Lyrilusc monster, and then special a Lyrilusc with a different name from your hand. So if you open the one that... what's the guy? Is it this one? I forget which one it is. Maybe it's Warbler. Yeah, if you control no monsters, you could special this, then special one from the hand or graveyard. So if you already opened him, you can dump another, and if you didn't open him, you could just search him. And then special another. It's really cool. And then 1 Lyrilusc Bird Sanctuary. This card's kind of nuts. You could target 2 winged beast XYZs you control and attach them and all materials to the other. So it just kind of lets you load all your materials on one guy, which comes in handy with this card for going for game. And then it also, if you control an XYZ with 3 or more materials, draw a card. And it's a continuous spell, so every single turn you're going to get a draw off it. So, like, you break even at worst, and then it could be a +1 the longer it stays on board. And then 1 for 1 and 3 Where Art Thou. And then for the traps, just 3 Harpy's Featherstorm. And this card is insane. This card, when we were playing, I was playing Drytron, and this card, when it resolved, ended my turn every time. So if y'all know any counterplay to this card, let me know. But onto the extra deck. This deck's kind of like a Zeus Turbo, he was telling me, where you play 2 Zeus. Everyone should know what Zeus does by now. Card like Rex face. 2 Assemble Nightingale. This card can either just make Zeus for you, because it can attack directly. Up to the amount of materials it has is the amount of times it can attack, and gains 200 for each material. So this card could just be for Zeus. You could use 2 guys to make it, attack for 400 twice, and then make a Zeus. Or you could, like, make this guy, which I'll go over his effect in a second, make a second one, and then use that spell card to put them together, having 6 materials, and then, or not make 2 of it, but make 1 assembled, 1, say, recital or whatever. And then you can just, like, load them together. Have this dude having, like, 7 materials. And he can attack 7 times for 1,400. This card can just, like, go for a game out of nowhere. And it's kind of crazy. And then 2 Assemblu Ribbon. This card is also really insane. I didn't even know this card existed. And it gains 500 for each material attached to it. They all take 2+ level 1s, by the way. So you can either make them with 2 level 1s or any amount higher than that. It's kind of insane. And then if your opponent specials a monster, detach 1, return it to the hand. Not once per turn. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, target another Lyrilusc in your grave and add it to hand. So it's kind of like totally awesome in the sense where it nets back a card when it dies, but it gets pretty beefy, so it's hard to just ram over this thing. And anytime your opponent summons, you just bounce it back. So I think this card could like be really relevant in the future. It's also just an interruption that isn't limited to Lyrilusc. This card's really good. I can't think of any rank 1 interruptions that are worth playing aside from this. And then one Prom Thrush also gains 500 for each material, and you can detach a material from this, target a spell or trap your opponent controls, and shuffle it into the deck. So this is really good for going against back row decks. You could just start picking away at the back row. This is a once per turn though, sadly. And then it does something else in the damage step. I can't tell if this effect's really going to be relevant or not, but seems cool. And then 3 Recital Starling. This card, you detach 1 to search a level 1 wing beast, and that is a soft once per turn. So if I summon a second copy, I can still search. So this card's like insane. And then 2 Utopia Future, and then Utopia Draco Future. Utopic Future just takes 2 XYZs with the same rank, and then you could put Draco Future on top of him. And Draco Future is a quick effect monster negate that takes the monster it negates if it's on the field. And also, I think it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it's like a mini towers. It's not as good because it can be targeted, but you can make it and then take their monster and negate its effect. So just like a really good disruption that you can make out of Recital Starling. So if hypothetically you use 2 Starling to make it, both Starling got a search. So you either got extenders or you could have grabbed like 2 DD Crows. And it's not just a monster negate, but it's then also 2 banishes from grave. And then lastly, 1 Relinquished Anima. If any of y'all have been playing around with this deck, let me know what your lists look like. If anyone wants to send them in, my dueling book is Zadeboy, or you could just like comment the list on here in the comments, and I'd be interested in checking it out. This deck seems really fucking good. I hope that it is meta when it comes out, and I think it will be. Either it or a variant of it. Like if Tri-Brigade plays the cards, like, or if the deck is just good on its own. We'll see though. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. Take it easy.